and hours. They've got to increase lower the tolerance of people being on the street. I am very, very concerned that you could blow this thing by moving too fast, as our previous speaker said, but you could also completely undermine the authority of the mayor by moving too slow. With 2 hours from now, 3 hours from now, you still have one Baltimore movement leaders out there. You still have other elements out there. Other people are going to start coming back outdoors. And so it's a very, very tough situation for this man. Very, very tough.
And Harris, earlier we heard that it would be left up to the units of the police who are out there to kind of judge the situation.
It is very sad, man.
I guess
Let's see what happens.
One thing you have to do. You can't have a one-size
3 minutes.
approach. You've got to go.
They're saying that the police gonna move in, clear everybody out. People won't go home.
Exactly. This is the real fine line that we're talking about here. We've got peaceful protesters. We have police on one side, peaceful protesters on the other. I'm starting to get a little worried here because I think there might be some people out there that actually just want to confront the police. Not all of them, but some. All right, so the police have got to use discretion and everything they're doing tonight. When the 10 o'clock hour comes, I think probably what has happened is that these
2 minutes.
in Baltimore have already met with the police and have talked about what's going to happen at 10 o'clock. So there might be a little bit more discretion there before the police starts moving in and moving slowly into the crowd to try and get them to disperse. This is a real hard decision for the police department. And whatever decision they make right now, I'm behind them 100%.
I want to go, if we can, go to one of our correspondents.
It's definitely not the answer, but you have to understand people are so tired. They feel like, the law breaks the law. So they don't give a fuck about, them breaking the law. They don't care. If justice not being served, so and you sending cops on vacations for murder. 1 minute. Let's see what happens.
Whether the curfew is meant for the media or not, if you're on the street, you're going to be subject to their intentions. So we're going to try and stay out of their way.
I ain't gonna lie. I protest for Eric Garner in Chicago, and that was crazy. We had some crazy stuff happen in Chicago. I'm definitely one of those protesting people. I'll be out there right now.
It's all about the manner in which that this is imposed. Obviously, nobody likes this situation. A curfew,
but a peaceful protest.
Order of things. The police have said that they're going to do this in a slow and deliberate way, but we'll have to see what happens.
It's 10 p.m.
Chris, I want to thank you. I want to hand it over to my colleague, Don Lehman, who's standing by. He's going to take over our coverage.
But you're not going anywhere because someone needs you just a little bit to try to debrief us on what you have been seeing. Anderson, thank you very much. Stay with me. We got a lot.
The white dude was like, I'm out of here, G. You take over. It's 10 o'clock.
A citywide curfew. It is starting right now. The question is, will people go home? Will they go home? And if they don't, what happens then? This is CNN Tonight. I'm Don Lemon. As you can see, still a lot of people out on the streets. You see from our correspondents that we have out in the crowd. The mayor calling for protesters to leave. And then meanwhile, 2,000 National Guardsmen, 1,000 police trying to keep the lid on this city, a city that is holding its breath right now. The people who...
The deadline has come, and now we will see if the people clear. I'm with the state Senate.
Let's go to the most racist station alive. Uh-oh.
You're making a fool of yourself. You're making a fool of yourself. Come on, you calm down.
Hey, man, y'all gotta reach out to people in Baltimore, man. Tell them to hang with.
All right. Sean, I'm with the state Senate majority leader. To these, if we can get away from these vandals here. Senator, I'm sorry.
But we want.
So here, turn around, Senator. We're live now. Okay, yeah. Okay, go ahead, I'm sorry.
We want the media to move back, okay? Because people want to
It seems like they want trouble.
No, they don't want trouble. No.
So tell me what
She going half of Ronaldo, G.
tonight, State Senator Pugh.
We want our people to go home, but we also need the media to move back because this is just inciting
Right, so
people.
you tell me where to go. We'll go.
Okay.
We'll go. All right, come on, let's move on. Let's move on. Okay.
Yeah, I love Fox News.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Geraldo, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's true. Okay, here, turn. Here. Okay, Sean. I know that was very unpleasant, but it shows you the extent of the emotions.
You at the Dodgers game, pal? Who's winning?
And I think that
Am I keeping you updated on the news, John?
It incites people, but these people
Who's winning the Dodgers game, man?
Demonstrating very peacefully, and they're demonstrating because they care about their neighborhoods and they care about their communities. And what they've been saying all day long is that we need economic development in our communities. We need economic opportunities. This community is not monolithic. Crime is not the only issue, but we need police to respect our neighborhoods. And when you know that this is not just happening in Baltimore, this has happened all across the country. Black lives matter, and black men have died as a result of custody with police. And
what about the personal responsibility as demonstrated by that brave mother who took her 16-year-old?
Oh, come on, man. Get off that, G. They gonna constantly talk about the brave mother. That was another situation around. If this wasn't even going on, she started whooping her child in the street, they probably would have took her to jail. Get off that, Ronaldo. You are such a jackass.
Discussion needs to be had at a higher level because there are too many black men incarcerated. When we look at the economic wealth in our community, it's not spread, evenly across the board. I mean, it's an issue.
But what about the curfew and the fact that crime?
Somebody gonna steal all your G.
Let me just say this. If we allow people to just move quietly to their neighborhoods, they'll do that.
I hope so.
But as long as these camera lights are on, people are going to be standing here because you're shining the lights on our community. These people have had a wonderful, quiet demonstration today because they realize that their pharmacy has been destroyed. Their mall has been destroyed. And when people are
will it be rebuilt?
It will be rebuilt. But, people are frustrated,
I get it.
and I understand their frustration.
Okay.
And so we care about our
He's like, okay,
so
I'm not going nowhere. This is my job. I get paid like $400K to get the coverage footage. I'm not going anywhere. I hear you.
Sean, that's
Geraldo, can I have a question
situation here?
I don't know, can you hear me, Geraldo?
Yeah, what you doing, man?
I will take a little issue with what the senator is saying here. Cameras don't incite people. Cameras don't throw rocks. Cameras didn't riot. Cameras didn't loot. And cameras didn't burn, Geraldo.
Here go Fox News. They go ahead.
Last night in her city.
I got it, Sean. Let me convey that to the majority leader of the Maryland State Senate. This is Senator Pugh. The blaming of the
guy in the office said the cameras don't incite people. Like he's not even out there. See, that's that shit. That's that dumb shit, man, going on.
What we're saying is that we need our neighborhood to quiet down.
Well, now it seems to be calmer.
Yeah, and people will.
Somebody need to go to that office and straight, like, get him the 5-finger slap, like Charlie Murphy style, man.
I look at the border buildings like they do. When people walk out of their houses and they see border buildings, they don't feel good about their community or their neighborhood. But people have lived in this neighborhood. They have invested in these communities, and
but
people
will they invest now?
And they will. All they're trying to say is that we care, and we want other people
to
care about our neighborhoods and our communities.
She's speaking the truth right now.
Awareness.
I got you. Yes, Sean.
I want to call her out.
I got you, Sean.
He want to call her out. Hold on.
Understands people's frustration, and she's talking about economic development here. That sounds to me like she's rationalizing what happened in her city. The magnitude of what happened.
Let me put that to the
were destroyed last night, Geraldo. Cops were assaulted yesterday.
The
Fox News is better than Comedy Central.
The sentiment that Sean Hannity, the host, has is that by stressing the economic injustice, you give the people who perpetrated the violence against very modest shopkeepers
No, and there was,
a free pass.
First of all, there were a very small amount of people who participated
No, it wasn't.
in that negative activity.
How do you know, dude? You wasn't there. You said in the goddamn freaking air conditioned
700,000 people
building.
live in the city. And while we do not condone violence,
Sheriff, your niece
anyway,
right there. Tell her to download Hang Whip and broadcast. We need that footage. We're gonna turn Hang Whip into the #1 CNN platform. We need that footage.
We did that all day yesterday, and they did that. But there are people who are frustrated. There are people out here who don't have jobs.
What's with this?
Who don't have
what is
opportunities.
this about?
It's about breaking every chain. They feel locked up. See, this is...
Speak it, brother. Come on. Bring it home.
Finally taking their voice. For every time that you had a meeting in the school and you ain't let them talk, for every time that you had a camera out and you was recording something that ain't had nothing to do with them, when you recorded a murder over here but you ain't record who got killed over there, for every time now they making you listen. So listen to what the kids got to say for one, but for two, listen, I want the kids to know.
What are the kids going to say to the shopkeepers who are out of business then?
I want the kids
What are they going to say to the homeowners who are out of a house?
The 12th round is going to stop fighting and celebrate a victory. What it is about celebrating a positive victory. God gave you the movement to get out of this mess without getting hurt.
Okay, sure. I got it, brother. Say, Senator, thank you.
Oh, he don't want to listen to nothing, huh? Okay. He's preaching the gospel. He don't want to hear that, huh?
Keep walking.
You speaking that literature.
Keep going.
Somebody gonna steal on you, bro. I'm just waiting for it. I hope I catch it on Hang.
In a very small area with a line that is ready for anything, as you can see, Sean. But so far, aside from the loud mouths, and there are a considerable number of them, things have been peaceful, although the streets, as you can see if you pan back on the other side, not yet empty by a long shot. Sean, back to you.
All right, Geraldo Rivera. We'll get back to Geraldo later in the evening tonight. Leland Bitter is standing by. He's on the streets of Baltimore tonight. Leland, what's going on where you are? Leland, I'm not sure if you can hear me.
They took Leland's camera. Okay, let's go to CNN. They got more common sense.
And again, tell us the number of people that you're seeing out there. And there's so far no violence, right, Ryan? Everyone is still pretty peaceful?
No violence whatsoever, but you know what? We're going to walk a little bit. I'm going to show you this direction.
They got the brother for the late night shift.
We're coming up the street. Everyone's waiting for this 10 o'clock hour. And they've all been coming up, marching forward to where the cops are. One lady just walked over and asked us, what are you guys waiting for? When they start tear-gassing people, there's other people in the crowd saying, no, we do not want that to happen. What we would like you guys to do is just go home peacefully. All the music that was being played throughout the day, that is now over. And what the crowd is now doing is, you can see them, they're just standing right here. Now they're asking the media to step back, but you can hear the crowd is angry. They do not want to go home. In fact, there are several people who are here who seem like they want to challenge the police to see if they can move them off this street.
Okay, Ryan, I want you to stand by. I'm going to keep the correspondence up. I'm going to keep Chris up.
So we're 10 minutes into this curfew in Baltimore,
Ryan, what do you mean?
and the police have done nothing. They stood their ground. People are not leaving.
Well, we've talked to a few people, especially there's a lot of young people who weren't here earlier, who have now shown up, who are ready to cover their faces just in case there is tear gas, who are standing all around the edges, and they're actually yelling toward the officers. I think for the most part, the officers have not responded to anyone who was yelling at them. It has all remained peaceful. In fact, people are screaming, peace, peace, peace. But once again, this crowd has changed from what we have seen here earlier.
Okay, guys, stick with me. I'm going to keep your cameras up. We'll bring you into the conversation. I also want to bring into the conversation now the Reverend
I wish I
Ryan.
was
He's
there.
the senior pastor of Empowerment Temple AME Church. He delivered Freddie Gray's eulogy and held a town hall here tonight. Also, the Reverend Ron Owens of Holy Redeemer Institutional Church of God and Christ. He joins me now. And as we're watching this, Reverend, you met with the DOJ. Did you have a meeting with the DOJ?
I did have a meeting today with the DOJ. We thought that
Sorry.
we did have a meeting, a select group of
keep it that way.
I see. By being out here, are you slowing up the police from doing their job? Are you getting in the way?
All right, this is my neighborhood. Yeah. These are people that live in my neighborhood. I live here.
Fox News more entertaining.
Are they listening to you?
Yes, some of them are listening.
All right, well, there you have Congressman Elijah Cummings out here on the street talking to the people, trying to get them to go home. I ballpark the crowd right now at about 100, down from 200 just a short time ago. You see, we passed the deadline, the curfew deadline. The tension ramped up a little bit, and you still have people out here on the street, and behind me you have the throngs of police and all their tactical gear, Sean. All right, thanks, Mike Tobin. Leland Bitters is back up with us. Leland, what's going on? You had a very busy night last night, and I saw the beginning of your interview tonight.
This dude's such a dick.
When you were in that crowd.
Very hostile towards the media, very hostile towards the police. You can hear the loudspeakers above us, Sean, saying, "Go home, it's time to go home." But you get the sense that the same thugs who were out last night are out once again tonight. You got all these guys here, a number of whom seem to be ready and willing to fight with the police. And they will have one heck of a fight. You get a sense of what the police have brought out here. We've also seen back in these lines, police horses, the cavalry is here, and obviously the helicopters above. I want to bring in a young man here who we've talked to a lot. Christian here, he's a college student. You live around here. When you see this on the streets where you live, tell me what you're thinking.
Don't call these people thugs, but these are people's neighborhoods. They're here trying to support and there's a lot of stress going on. Like, there's a whole bunch of policemen, and
you think the police are making it worse?
They're making it worse. We're out here on a positive note. I'm here with my friend here, Leonard.
It's only like 30 people out here. Why do you need all these officers? Well, if the 30 people weren't here, they could all go home. The officers
this is their home.
This is their home. This is their home right here. Hey, where are they going? Where are they going? You can go home. They can. Go ahead, Sean.
You know, I want to ask if he takes offense at the thugs, but how would he describe the people that were looting and rioting and burning down buildings and throwing rocks at police officers? How does he describe those people in his neighborhood?
How do we describe officers who shoot people and get off? Huh? You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna find dude in that studio. I'm gonna find him. Let me get his name. I'm very good at finding people. Let me get his name. He's irritating me now. That's why I shouldn't watch Fox News. That's why I don't watch the news. I get riled up. I get riled up when I go straight straight nigga ratio on these niggas, man. Go straight Shaft and the Mac on these niggas. That's what we need to go back to. Shaft and the Mac. They ain't play no game. They was slapping a smackdown on niggas 24/7.
People are at an all-time high. They feel as though they'll be looked at as weak if they go back into their homes and let the police take over.
That's what the officers want. They want everyone to leave. But this is their home. Like I keep saying, this is their home. Where are they going? So, in other words, you're saying you feel like the police, if the police being here, they're just sort of making things worse. If they would go home, nobody else would.
Yeah.
Don't cut him off. He's speaking the right.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Sean, back to you.
All right, appreciate it. We go back to Mike Tobin, who's in the middle of a lot of what's going on now. Mike, what's happening?
Well, what I've seen now are two bottles come over the crowd in this direction. That would be
see, I said we need to start training our kids like the Mac is Shaft. You know what I'm saying? They was laying a smackdown back in the 60s and 70s, man.
What we've seen right now is announcements coming from the police. The helicopter's overhead right now, I can show you. And there's an announcement coming from the helicopter. Presumably it's about dispersing, but you can't really hear that announcement very well. When you get
Lexi Baby in the building, Copeland.
You can hear that pretty well. It's pretty clear what
got 180 viewers.
Anyway, they want people to
it's cracking tonight.
So far, you've got the lines of police not moving. They're taking a couple of hits with the bottles. Tension is certainly ramped
this
up.
Dude right here.
Rowdiness, if you
with your loud great ass shirt on.
Quite a bit since the deadline. All right, they're moving forward now.
Here we go. We got action.
And I'll let you listen to it.
What we listening to? Footsteps, Negro?
You can hear that sound. They're very deliberately thumping their shields to make that sound, to be intimidating as they move forward, to let everybody know you shouldn't be here in the street. I just saw one more bottle come up over the crowd into the officers as they're advancing. So that's the first movement we've seen from the line of tactical.
Hold on, let's get a different angle.
All right, Mike Tobin.
Let's see if CNN's got a different angle. Hold on. They're throwing bottles.
They're throwing a bottle, but still, it's a provocation.
They're throwing bottles.
Media, they're saying to clear back behind the barrier. The barrier would be the police.
Bro, you just need to go home. Those boys will not go home. I feel you, bro.
That was a glass bottle. All right. So, Jay, I'm going to pull you back this way as they come.
Still at the Fox.
Joseph A. Banks.
Oh, y'all went to commercial. Y'all tweaking.
Bullhorns or on speakers? Well, people are yelling, using their voices, saying, move back, get out of the way, you know what's going to happen. And the helicopter above is saying, move out of the way. This pertains to all media as well. Clear out of the area. So we're moving back and trying to give them distance while at the same time living up to the responsibility to keep eyes on the situation. Chris, we're looking at people who are laying in the middle of the street. Is that anywhere near you? I do not see that. I do not see people. There are a lot of people here, but I don't. You got Ryan on the other side for me and Jason behind him, and Miguel farther up the street. So maybe one of them is closer to it. We're trying to stay closer to the police so we can see exactly what they do. So Reverend, stand by, Chris. Reverend Owens, how can this be diffused?
Well, I think before I answer that question, one of the things that we asked the DOJ to do was to provide us a system in place whereby they can monitor the conduct of
Copeland, what are you talking about, G? What are you on right now?
I think what you're seeing here now is exactly what Pastor Brian is saying, a very small element, and I think this element is divided. There are those, as I see it, who are attempting to move the crowd.
He too clean to be out there. He got the pastor voice and the pastor breathing simple.
Determined not to leave, and then I think that you have those out there who are determined.
Amber's a female, G.
Much. So I think the
here we go.
is that there are elements. I am shocked and surprised that the police would tell the press that they would have to go that severely concerned.
They're throwing bottles, dang.
That the actions of the cops won't be recorded.
Okay, stand by. So media's allowed to be there. Police have said that the media is allowed to be there while the curfew is in effect. Again, we're watching these pictures come in of police that appear to be moving in. They are moving in, and some of the protesters are defying that by throwing bottles, and they continue to be on the street.
All right, y'all, I got 2%. So.